Hi, what's up, y'all? It's popping in. G Boss reacts to this vid by Vice. Is titled Flight Attendant Reveals Dark Secrets of the Job. In the thumbnail, it says you're being prostituted by politicians. How you prostituting some flight attendants off? That's crazy. Let's hear what they got to say. Let's watch.
I've been a flight attendant for 6 years. It's a hypersexualized and glorified job. Because of the intense pressure of trying to conform to the beauty standards of these airlines.
I do notice that though. A lot of the flight attendants will be younger. They're like younger women. A lot of them are, in shape. I mean, obviously, sometimes you come across some older flight attendants or some heavier ones, but for the most part, they usually are younger and like slimmer.
A lot of flight attendants would resort to plastic surgery. I personally know a flight attendant who passed away on the surgery table from doing liposuction. Some of them would utilize drugs such as heroin, cocaine, meth, or ice to keep their weight down.
For Delta Airlines?
Crews who are on psychotic medicine, and they're still flying. During an emergency, you're not mentally fit to handle those scenarios. It's dark world. You are supposed to fend for yourself. You're being prostituted to serve powerful figures. This passenger requested one of my colleagues to accompany him for dinner, and the next day, two of his bodyguards were outside of her hotel room to take her to see him. You just have to agree in order for you to still have your job.
Oh my God.
You have no power at all.
I wish the fuck United Airlines would be like, you gotta do it to keep your job.
2012.
You gotta go fuck that man.
Service carrier based in Asia. I wanted to be a flight attendant because I thought it would be great to have a job that allows you to travel. Like you are literally being paid to go to all these exciting destinations. I did not foresee this other sides of the industry. You are always trying to avoid incidents on board. You do have to be aware of how intoxicated your passengers are. On one of the flights, a passenger started masturbating while watching porn. Eventually, he started taking his clothes off and ended up urinating himself. And that's when the crew members decided that they need to restrain him. They did try to clean him up and put his clothes back on, but he already soiled himself.
Nah, I'm quitting. That day.
Your seniors would tell you just squeeze a few eye drops into passengers' drink when they become too intoxicated and they refuse to stop drinking. I've seen this happen a few times, and the passengers always go to sleep after that. It's actually pretty common to catch people having sex on board.
That's gross.
And it's always an awkward conversation when you know that they're definitely having sex and you're there to stop them from doing it. I've caught a couple on the last row having sex.
Not even in the bathroom?
They weren't exactly quiet while doing it. I was stunned at first, so I went and asked them to stop, and they weren't stopping at all. They weren't even embarrassed about being caught doing that.
Can't you go to jail for that?
One of the most memorable experiences I had was having a passenger that tried to smuggle guns. The enforcement officer had to come on board and arrested a passenger. He was a gang member from a neighboring country, and he was on the run. This man tried to smuggle 2 guns. Both of the guns were fully loaded. The gun could actually gone off in the cargo because of the pressure, and everybody was pretty pissed at the realization that this guy is trying to smuggle something that could jeopardize the entire flight.
Wow.
That's not really a penalty for violence against the crew members.
Really?
Once this passenger was upset that she wasn't seated next to her boyfriend. And when we try to explain that it isn't part of our job to make sure that you get to be seated together, she just went ballistic and she threw hot instant noodles to one of the crew members' face. She was superficially burned And then the boyfriend actually came over and started threatening to blow up the plane
All right.
and try to punch another crew
What airline is
member.
this?
The only punishment they got was they were banned from flying the airlines again.
But they didn't go to jail?
Sub captains will be power tripping. The captain tried to get me to sleep with him. He asked if I would fancy some private time with him, in which I refused. Went up to my room, and next thing I know, he was knocking on my hotel room door. I got scared and I just pretend as if I'm not in the room. The next day, he will make your entire trip hell just because you refuse him.
Wow.
The airlines are always hiring their cabin crews to be the face of the airline itself. They have a specific look. You have to look slender, slim. Every 2 years, you'll be issued the same uniform, the same size. You are expected to always be able to fit into that uniform.
Oh.
They have a grooming manager.
If you don't
You're
want
supposed to go to the grooming manager in your uniform, and they will pick and poke your entire appearances. So if you gain weight or you have any skin issues, you can get
it's not like an
granted from
Asian
flying
airline,
because you're not performing to the standards.
Give him Malaysian airline.
After 6 months of flying, I had terrible skin issues. So I was grounded for a month, sent to see a dermatologist with the instruction that I have to make sure that my skin clears up before I'm cleared to fly again. A lot of flight attendants would resort to plastic surgery to maintain the way they look. Some doing liposuction, facelifting, breast enlargement, or getting their face reconstructed. There is also this procedure that is called fat burning. They would inject this fat burning solution. This solution would pretty much melt your fat away. I've seen a lot of them hospitalized for the wrong fat burning procedures. I personally know a flight attendant who passed away on the surgery table from doing liposuction. It is traumatizing to know that somebody that you have flown with passed away, and the shock usually lasted probably a month or two before everyone would just go back to their normal behavior of trying to look as beautiful as they can because they need to keep the job. The way I perceive society is sometimes abnormal because of the perception that was imposed on me as a flight attendant. After 6 years being in the industry, I was clinically diagnosed with depression, and it's something that I still struggle up till now. I've seen a lot of flight attendants spiral down. There's a lot of suicide in the industry.
What?
Being subjected to sexual and physical abuse almost every day kind of like change you as a person as well. If you start young and you're being paid thousands to travel to all these exotic places, it can be something that you look forward to. But at the end of the day, I would say
they ain't getting paid like that.
The pay isn't worth all the struggles that I had to endure.
I had no idea that this was such a dark workspace. Excuse me? I wish Spirit would. If I was trying to be a flight attendant and they trying to subject me to this bullshit, what? This is wild. And I mean, they probably get paid a decent amount, but I'm sure it's not worth all of this. Like she said clearly. Like, this is wild. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want to watch, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.